Hey everybody, Instagram, Facebook, how are you? My name is Bernadette Henry and I'm a mental health and an emotional wellness coach for busy working moms. And currently I am working with moms of newly diagnosed autistic children, manage their feelings of denial, anger, grief, and guilt so that they can finally accept their child's autism diagnosis and get them the help that they need and not let their feelings get in the way of what you can do for your child. So, I have I have to admit it now, two autistic children. And one of my sons, the older of the two, have been autistic since, or have been officially diagnosed since 2014. And when he was initially diagnosed, even though he did have an autism diagnosis, he was labeled as high functioning autism. And basically it means that he's able to function. So he's able to dress himself, use the bathroom, feed himself, he's able to talk, he's doing well in school. That's kind of what I figure or believe, that high functioning autism is. But lately I've had, and excuse me if I get choked up, okay, because, it just triggers me and I kind of felt bad. But at the end of the day, whether a child is on a low end of the spectrum or in the middle of the spectrum or in the high end of the spectrum, the child is autistic. It just doesn't matter which part of the spectrum the child is on. And this is why it's called the autism spectrum. Because at the end of the day, there are going to be certain signs and symptoms that's going to spread across the whole spectrum. No matter if they're low functioning, mid functioning, high functioning, there's still going to be some sort of developmental delay, no matter. And because I held like high functioning autism at a different standard, I just didn't take advantage of the many services that are available to my son. Like, there's just so many services like respite, OWPDD, after school programs, summer camp, so many programs. And I even know parents of autistic children that take advantage of these programs. But some of the parents that I know, their children may be on a different part of the spectrum, but it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what part of the spectrum, that the child is on. And I had to get this reality check like maybe a couple of weeks ago. I was at my son's school at a meeting, matter of fact, a talent show. And at the end, there was a vote for the PTA. And I was like, I'm going to stay around for this. And somehow I was inducted into the PTA. So I was speaking with the parent coordinator, and she was just telling me about all of these benefits that my child can receive. And I said, you know what? I never did this because, I thought that they asked you to show to show the pay stubs. And I'm like, my son is high functioning. I don't really think he needs these things. And she was like, girl, like, get your life, like, get everything that, he's able to get, because there's a lot of support and a lot of services that New York City really give to our children that's diagnosed with autism. So I was like, okay, so today I took my children to a District 75 Family Fun Day. And this is the first time ever. My son is 9. He's been diagnosed since he was 4. This is my first time taking him to like an autism based event. So it was a District 75 Family Fun Day, and it was cool. Like, there was all kind of activities there for the kids. They had lunch, they had dancing, they had, like I said, activities, hula hoops, football, baseball, basketball, whatever things that they could play, and different stations where they could paint, they could build this, they could build that. It was just like a really good day. And there I also met a lot of vendors. So they had care management services, the respite services, like all of these different, like dentists for children with autism. Like, it was so many different service providers there. And I went to like every single table, just in awe that there are so many services available. And I'm just like, why didn't I take advantage? Why did I think that because my son had that label of high functioning, that he shouldn't engage in these services? Even Special Olympics, like, the lady was like, hey, look, you should get your child involved. And I'm just saying to myself, like, and a part of me like really wanted to cry earlier, because I'm like, why? Like, why didn't I don't know, engage in all these services and get my son these things that he needs? Because at the end of the day, truth moment, at the end of the day, autism is autism. It doesn't matter what level. Right now, I think it's autism 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't matter which order of the spectrum the child falls on. Autism is autism. And I really, excuse me, I really had to come to terms with that, because a lot of times I would just be like, oh yeah, he's high functioning, or oh yeah, he has Asperger's, and I just have to throw that label away. Like, I will like do away with high functioning autism, because at the end of the day, autism is autism is autism is autism, and it's just no way to sugarcoat that. It's no way to make the label sound lighter. It's just no way to get around it, because at the end of the day, there are still going to be challenges that my child will have, high functioning autism or not. Like, it was to the point where he couldn't even be in a regular classroom because of the sensory overload or the disorder of things, where he couldn't even function, even though he was high functioning and able to do all A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, it just wasn't the right environment for him. So he had to be placed in a school specifically for children with autism, whether it's 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Like, he had to do or go in a place that was appropriate for him. So that was just like a real big reality check that I had to receive. I think it's been over the last couple of weeks now that I've been doing a lot of working with parents that have children diagnosed with autism, and just doing a lot of like watching other moms and studying, and like I had to really have this realization within myself. And I don't know if I would call it a denial, but I don't know if I would call it a denial, but it was definitely a wake-up call to show me that autism is autism, and yeah, there's just different levels. Some parents deal with things that I don't deal with. I deal with things that other parents don't deal with, and it is what it is. So no matter what level of the spectrum your child falls on, autism is autism. And if you are in a place where there are benefits available, like, take advantage of them, like sign your child up. Like, literally next week, I'm signing my child up for everything. I'm going to get a care manager. I'm going to look into the respite. I'm going to look into the summer program. I'm going to look into the after school program. I'm going to look into the people that comes to your house and watch your kids for a few hours, or take the kids outside to work on their social skills. So these are not just things that's getting done for the heck of it. Like when these people come and take their children out, they're taking them different places to help them to be social in the community, because we got to realize that even with high functioning autism, there is some challenges when it comes to communication. And I talk about that with my son all the time. And they literally like take your kid out and help your child. Like, I am a parent, and I parent my child as a parent of my child, not always necessarily as my child with autism. It's just like, this is my child. But if you have these service providers that specializes in certain areas, like, let them do their job. And that's my job. Like, even when I go to meetings at my children's school, I try to do a lot of things with my child as if I would do with my child that's neurotypical. But at the end of the day, in school, these teachers are trained in such a way to work on certain things. And I let them play their role, and I play my role. I'm a parent. So I'm going to parent my child as my child and not necessarily always as my child with autism. You understand? So it's staying in your lane and just letting people do what they have to do, you know, that specializes in these things. So that's all I wanted to say today. Like I said, I just got that reality check that no matter what part of the spectrum your child is on, it's still autism. So thank you so much for hearing me out, and I would love to hear your opinion on this, and I'm out of here. Have a good one, y'all.